Pentiment, welcome back, dear friends and deep thinkers. We still carry the Historia Tassing. We are Magdalene, and oh, look at that! I hadn't seen that. What's going on here? Snow is creeping down the mountains. Winter will be here soon. Yeah, it's getting late. We're working on the mural, and we must ask Sister Gertrude something about Historia Tassing, the history of Tassing. Oh, I should talk to Sister Gertrude, since she was a Benedictine nun at Kirsau before the poor Clares arrived. She will be able to tell me more about the convent's history for the mural. Yeah, and other things too. So, we also want to get over into the ruins. Sister Gertrude. God bless you, Magdalene. And sister, I have a favor to ask of you. Of course, Magdalene. I'll help however I can. I have a book, the Historia Tassing, and I can't read it very well. Can you help me translate it? I'm afraid my Latin isn't good enough to translate something like that. Its grammar structures are far too complex. I'm so sorry, Magdalene. That's all right, sister. I'll have to find another way. There was one more thing, if you don't mind. It's about the Rathaus mural. Oh, did you need more paint? I believe I have enough gold stored already. No, thank you, sister. I have more than enough paint. I wanted to ask you about the history of Kirsau, actually. I'd like to include the Abbey's founding and the history of Tassing's saints to the Rathaus mural. I wrote to Reverend Mathieu, since he lived at the Abbey, but wanted to see the place firsthand. Brother Mathieu became a reverend, did he? He was always suited to such a role. But I don't suppose that's what you came up the hill for. You're curious about the saint's history, yes? Yes, I was hoping you could show me around the convent and tell me about its history. Gertrude. The poor Clares don't allow outsiders within the convent, even other women. Mother Francisca wouldn't like anyone coming in for such a worldly concern. Well, that makes my job difficult. Gertrude, let me finish, Magdalene Druckeryn. However, Mother Francisca always welcomes those who are considering joining the order. If a young woman sincerely considered joining the convent, she may be allowed to enter and observe the sisters. Who knows what else she may discover while contemplating the holy life? I've always been drawing. Yeah, no. Well, I suppose exploring all of my options can't hurt. Touring the convent will take some time. Would you like to go see Mother Francisca now? Yeah, let's go. Mother Francisca, I'd like to introduce Magdalene Druckeryn. The printer's daughter, yes. God bless you, Magdalene. Father Thomas told us of your father's condition, and we pray for his recovery daily. Oh, thank you, Abbess. Such is our duty to serve the Lord and the community that provides for us. Now, what is this about, Sister Gertrude? You know our holy rules. Why bring young Mistress Druckeryn to me? Forgive me, Mother. Magdalene is searching for a place in the world and is contemplating the holy life. I thought observing the sisters might aid her in her spiritual search. She was encouraged by the idea. Right, yes. So you've decided to consider my offer after all. If God is calling you to the convent, I'm more than willing to help you fulfill that divine cause. What brought this change on? Why are you interested in joining the poor Clares? Will we lie? We say that's too much for me? Will we say I won't have to marry? Yeah, we'll be straightforward with her. Well, if I become a sister, I won't have to marry, which is far better than being stuck bearing kids for the rest of my life. Francisca, I do not encourage such a reason for joining the order. Remember, the Lord commanded man to be fruitful and multiply. However, I understand If the Lord brings you to the convent for such a reason, some women are born barren. If you truly desire the holy life, then you're more than welcome to observe the sisters. Please come, I am happy to tell you more of our order. Our small convent used to be part of the larger Kiersau double monastery, as I'm sure you've been told by Sister Gertrude. However, the poor Clares line far differently than the Benedictines that once lived here. We believe that it is not ours to produce and live solely on the alms of the community of Tassing, as they see fit to give. Likewise, none of the sisters here own any personal property. We share this convent as a gift from the church. We believe that the Lord called us into a life of poverty and service. Does such a life appeal to you, Magdalene? I'm not entirely certain yet. I'd like to explore and look around, get a feel for the place. Francisca Magdalene, you must not have understood me. We have deliberately closed ourselves off from the world. I won't have a laywoman bothering the sisters from their duties or disturbing our rule. However, I will allow Sister Suzanne to show you our duties. Please take your time. When you're finished, please come find me and we will discuss your decision to join. Finally, I thought she'd never finish. Suzanne, what? Truthfully, I'm not here to join the convent. I'm looking for references for a mural I'm painting in the Rathaus. Time to start exploring. You can either come or not. Up to you. Mother Francisca said. She said that as long as I'm with you, it's fine to look around. Are you really going to get us both into trouble? I said, no, I always follow Mother Francisca's orders. The convent has many parts. The kitchen, the loquarium, the chapter house, the yard, and the old workshop, though no one uses that old shed anymore. I'll leave it to you to decide where to go first. Dead end. Everyone's too distracted by their own work or doesn't know Latin well enough to read the Historia Tassi, I suppose. I won't be able to use it as a reference for the mural, after all. They just don't want to. Everyone avoids me with that mystery of a book. Let's look into the chapel. Oh, nice, an inscription. Let's read. Anno mortis imperatoris Federici. In the year of death of the Imperator Frederick II, Secundi, Castrum Domini Kiersau. That's really a mural about the history of that. Castrum Domini Kiersau, the fortress of God Kiersau, Igne perdebatur. Oh, was destroyed by fire. Ah, yeah, that's the history of the burned down one. Sola turis manset. Only a tower remained. Dominus vocavit dominam Sabinem, anno Domini MCCLXY, we nostri sorores et fratres ducaret. So the Lord called in the year of... yeah, okay, so basically it was founded in 1259? No, 61. By some sisters and brothers. Okay, so... not that old cloister, but still a cloister. This is a chapel where we all gather for Mass and liturgy. It's the oldest part of the convent. And the most drafty, Gertrude says. Hello again, Sister Gertrude. Sisters have done some minor retouches over the years, but it has represented the abbey from its earliest days. Magdalene. Oh, there's the tower and the library. The cloister is still being constructed here. Yes, the tower was a Bergfried long before the structure became monastery. A Bergfried is something like a tower on a hill or a mountain to defend. Freestanding defensive tower, not built for permanent habitation. Yeah. There's also a Bergfried very close to where I live. It's just fun to visit it. So then the duchy gifted it to the Benedictine order after the Holy Roman Empire grew. They had no use for it as a keep. True, these walls have protected Tassing from attacks of spirit and steel for generations. There's Latin here too. God called Lady Sabine to lead our sisters and brothers in 1261. Ah, yeah, okay. Sabine. That was really a sister, because there's also an order that's the Sabines. Lord Kirsau's castle was destroyed by fire in the year of the death of Emperor Frederick II. Only the tower remained. So then, well done, Magdalene. Yes, the first lists the abbey's founding date. So the Lady Kirsau was actually the one to suggest the old castle to be turned into a double monastery. We added the second shortly after the revolt. Mother Illuminata thought it would be fitting, even if the sisters were not here, some record of what occurred would remain. Kirsau is unique, a double monastery with 2 saints, one male and one female, to guard the town and abbey. So the foundation was even older. Fascinating to think that even before the Duke gifted it to the church, the fortification was founded by St. Moritz. The saints have a long history in these lands. Many things once thought lost are truly foundational to how we live. Magdalene, you were right, sister. This mural will be a great reference for the Rathaus. Then I'm glad to have helped. God bless you, Magdalene. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Can we talk more? God bless you, Magdalene. I like that we can cut corner that way. It's so cool. That we don't have to wiggle our way through everything. Oh, look at her. God bless you, Magdalene. Petting the cat. Always good. And there's the convent kitchen. Susanne, this is the kitchen. And there's not anything that interesting here. Sister Marie and Sister Isabeau take care of most of the kitchen duties, but everyone pitches in when needed. Marie, God bless you, child. Are you delivering something? No, sister, I'm learning more about the convent's history, so that I can finish a mural in town. Marie, I see. This kitchen has been used for decades, longer than I've been alive, to be sure. I enjoy preparing meals for the sisters that nourish us, but I can never bring myself to butcher the animals. Sister Isabeau has graciously taken on that task for me. We need sustenance, but I feel butchering any animal is wrong according to the rule of St. Francis. To cause suffering to any living creature is unnecessary and evil. Even if God granted Adam and Eve dominion over the animals. Magdalene, the kitchen seems fairly simple. Is there anything here from the convent's founding days? Very no more than the structure itself, I'm afraid. Cookware needs replacing over the years. Though some nights a ghost appears to me by the cook fire, a lost spirit trapped between heaven and hell. What? Sister Marie, not this again, not to Magdalene, please. Saint Tassia. What made you think you saw a spirit, sister? The figure rose up through the very ground we stand on at vigils not a fortnight ago. Dawn and dusk are the hours when the boundaries between this world and the spiritual world are weakest. We may be the newest arrivals here, but this convent is very old. Perhaps there was something Roman underneath this foundation centuries before. The spirit may seek to know the presence of God now that it rests on holy ground. spirit in Kiersau. Why would it come to the convent, though? It breaks my heart to think this spirit was crying out for help, trapped beyond heaven's reach. Susanne, why don't we keep going, Magdalene? It's better not to get Sister Marie too upset. Of course. God bless you, sister. God bless you, child. Oh, it was just getting interesting, and Isabeau. God bless you, Magdalene. God bless you, sister. How goes the cooking? As well as the Lord wills it. My old fingers fumble from time to time, but it's my privilege to prepare supper for the other sisters. It's very noble of you. Isabeau, just as God gave Paul a thorn in his side, so too did he give me the pains of age to strengthen my faith. Such things are a blessing when compared to the pains Christ carried upon the cross. Didn't Christ die so that we don't have to suffer unnecessarily? In the next life, yes. But even Christ said we would face hardships while we live on this earth. I have chosen to find meaning and devotion to the Lord throughout my hardship. Thank you for sharing your perspective with me, Sister Isabeau. You are not most welcome, child. God bless you. Okay, that was... She liked that. She's watching us. Okay. So we were to the convent kitchen. There's nothing here in the garden. The garden seems to be wild. How is the courtyard? I don't know. The courtyard would be going back, right? There's the aquarium. Ah, okay. That's the courtyard. So there's the art studio here. Interesting. Well, there's not that much here, I guess, but we'll still... So here's the aquarium. Most of the abbey's visitors come in here, but aren't allowed to enter. We aren't allowed to go into the outside world either, like Mother Francisca said. Isolation is a part of our vows. Sister Gertrude once told me the old Benedictine sisters used to go out into town sometimes, and even talk to men on occasion, and I'm stuck here, staring at these walls for the rest of my life. Doesn't seem like Sister Suzanne thinks much of her life here. Must seem like a boring life to her. Even so, she doesn't seem to have the passion that Sister Gertrude and the others have. She must have chosen to stay here for some reason. Maybe I should encourage her in her vocation. Even if I've had days when I never wanted to be a printer again, maybe I can help her see the joys of monastic life again. Don't want to overstep my bounds, though. You didn't always want to be a poor Clare's sister? Ah, Suzanne says. No, who would want to be a nun? My father promised me to the church as a baby. Some oath he swore when my mother struggled in her pregnancy. So there I was, dropped into the poor Clare's the summer I turned 17. They took you in just like that? Nobody asked what you wanted? So then why should they? The poor Clares rely on the offerings of others, even their children, to subsist. My family is devoted to the church. I've only been in the convent for 2 years, but I'm trying my best. I don't mind the prayers or the hours, and I'm sure of my devotion to the Lord, but this isn't what I wanted. But since when did a woman ever get what she wanted without being punished? Eve couldn't even manage it. I understand. I have more autonomy to go where I want, but I'm still bound by the expectations of marriage and homemaking. So now I remember the days of running around town. I wish I could have gotten married. I wanted to be a mother. Sometimes I get jealous of Sister Gertrude and even Sister Margarete. Why that? At least they got to see something of the outside world before they were 20. Don't forget Matilda and Voislav. They used to be part of Kirsa too. Oh yeah, them too. Sigh. Thanks for listening, Magdalene. Anyway, let me show you the rest of the cloister. Lead on. So there's back to the convent. And we'll go to the courtyard. There's also the art place. Oh, it's colder today. There's not much in the yard that could help you, I think. Anything that was here has long been covered in weeds. All I know about this place is that the walls here were added when the convent was built onto the monastery. Oh. God bless you, said Sister Benedicta. She's doing hard work. Sister Suzanne. God bless you. Oh, this ice is hard. Do I recognize you, Sister Benedicta? I think I've seen you in town once or twice. Suzanne, yes, you've seen her. Sister Benedicta is the youngest of the sisters. Mother Francisca allows only one sister to deal with the townsfolk. Benedicta received this privilege. Benedicta burden, more like. I have to run around everywhere, gathering all the food and doing all the chores. I'd rather be inside, but it's warm. What are you doing up in the convent, anyway? Mother Francisca said I could look around. Benedicta, oh well, don't let me get in the way then. Actually, Sister Benedicta, I wanted to ask you some questions. Do you like being a nun? Oh yes, Benedicta says, I don't mind it at all. It's far quieter than home, and I don't have to share my bed with my siblings anymore. I like to help the older sisters, and I don't mind the chores, except when it's cold like this. Magdalene, one more question, dear Sister Benedicta. Have you seen any mysterious figures or ghosts lately? Benedicta, oh, ghosts? No, everything has been normal recently. I haven't noticed anything odd. Is this about Sister Marie's ghost? I think it's Mauritius, myself. St. Moritz. Oh no. So there is a ghost in the abbey. Benedicta, well, I haven't seen anything myself, but if there is a ghost, I'd like to think it's Mauritius. Don't tell Mother Francisca this, but I found an old book about Christian legends hidden in the workshop. It said that a Roman commander named Mauritius conquered Tassing, but the colony failed. Most of the town was empty until Christian refugees found the town hidden in the valley. It was a miracle. Christian refugees? Benedicta, yes, the book said they were fleeing Roman persecution, maybe under Nero? I didn't remember, yeah. That's Nero, a Roman emperor known for his cruelty and persecution of Christians and Jews, as well as his disinterest in the Roman people. He famously fiddled as he watched the fire ravage Rome. And by the way, the latest research has shown that he was probably not responsible, and it might have been just political fake news to blame him on something by his successors. Anyway, when Sister Marie said she saw a ghost, I thought it must be Mauritius trying to get us out. A Roman ghost couldn't be happy about this tower being turned into an abbey, could he? What did you do with this book, sister? Oh, well, I had it with me in the kitchen one day, and I accidentally lit the fire poker on it. Oh my god, it must be completely destroyed. I tried to fix it, but it's unreadable now. Sorry, Magdalene. That's all right. The book would probably have gone unread otherwise. I'm glad you were enjoying it. Besides, that story gives me ideas for the Rathaus mural. Thanks for telling me about the book, sister. I won't tell Mother Francisca. God bless you, sister. Haha, thanks, Magdalene. God bless you. Ah, that history. Art studio. Can we maybe find another book? Aha. The workshop is covered in dust. Yes, this was the Benedictine sisters' workshop. They used to make badges and art for pilgrims coming to see the hand of St. Moritz. Actually, it looks like everything was just left here after the fire. Nothing's been used in years. Susanne, we can't subsist on painting, and the poor Clares don't produce goods for sale, so we have no reason to be in there. Surely you thought of sneaking in and creating something, right? Then I had thought about it. I'm just not sure if it's really worth it. Mother Francisca doesn't let us come in here unless to put something in storage. I've come in a few times and noticed some of the brushes have gone missing. Paint pots too. That's the supply of that guy. She doesn't believe in the ghost. You think one of the sisters is secretly painting? Susanne, oh, no. We all live too close together in the convent for something like that to go unnoticed. In any case, I think it's sad the workshop is left like this. Truthfully, Magdalene, I don't think you should join the convent, even if that's not what you were here to do anyway. Gertrude talks about you, and you seem to love your art. Without it, you'd hate it here. Thank you. Such valuable paint left to dry and crack on the palettes. There's an old parchment scrap here. It's different than the others. It looks like a scrap from a manuscript. There's something written in Latin in the margin. Mithraim tassier diluvio occultus est. There's something hidden in here. In the Temple of Tassia, is that right? The Mithraeum of Tassing had been destroyed by a flood. Mithraeum, that's the same word I saw in the Roman section of the mine. Why would someone have written that in the margins of the manuscript? Where's the rest of the book? Wait, this might be from the book Sister Benedicta found. I wonder why it would mention the Mithraeum. Yeah, that's her. Susanne, I don't know. It's not a word I've ever heard before. There's certainly nothing in the convent by that name. The script is definitely German. I wonder if this is from a book written in Kirsau itself. Well, the note says the Mithraeum was destroyed, so I suppose it doesn't matter much now. These old badges are beautiful. I hope the pilgrims who bought them love them too. Susanne, well, you've seen the entire convent. There's not much here. What do you think What do you think of it, probably? I can see why people choose the holy life, but it's not for me. Not without art. Then I understand. You've dedicated your whole life to your work. You'd struggle to give that up now. It's been so long since I've spoken to anyone from outside the convent. I'm reminded of the life I once had. Now you have me thinking about whether or not I should remain with the sisters. She wants to be a mother. It's easy to become a mother in that world, so if she wants to do that, I think you should go. Family just left you here. You don't owe the sisters anything. That made her... I thought that supported her. I do, though. The sisters have taken care of me. They love me, and I love them. Even if this life was my choice, they accepted me. Who knows? Maybe it will get better in time. Maybe I'll try to help in any way I can, even if it's just sneaking around the convent wall to say hello. Susan, really? That would be wonderful, so long as no one found out. Anyway, we should return to Mother Francisca before she suspects something. I didn't learn as much as I had hoped for the mural, but I'm glad I got to meet you. Susan, no. Thank you, Magdalene. Today has been more interesting than any I can remember in the Abbey. Come, let's find Mother Francisca. She'll be wanting to hear what you thought of the place. Francisca, well, Magdalene, what is your assessment of the poor Clares? Is the good Lord calling you to a life with us as a sister? Let's say something devoted. Well, I hadn't thought about my holy duty of providing children to a husband, and I just can't give that up so soon. Francisca, motherhood is a divine blessing, Magdalene. Be careful with your sarcasm. Yes, Mother Francisca, truth be told, I think Ötz might actually be a good match for me. He's on the town's council, is he not? Magdalene, he is. Susan, then perhaps you two do well together. God only knows. Francisca, our community is quite modest compared to the splendor of an old Benedictine house operating under the rule of a powerful abbot. I see why fewer women are drawn to the order these days. I will pray that you find your way, Magdalene. God bless you. Oh, Gertrude. Ah, Magdalene, how did your little expedition go? I learned a lot from seeing the Abbey. I have a good idea what I'll depict in the mural now. Sister, there's something I don't understand. The Abbey was so prosperous. Why didn't the monks rebuild it after the fire? Gertrude, what a task that would be. The chapel was beautiful. The stained glass always caught my eye in the mornings. There was a great deal of anger and sadness in Tassing that night. The abbot felt the brothers and sisters were no longer welcome in Tassing and moved on. In truth, the abbey's dissolution was inevitable. Kearsau was running out of money and patrons. The riot and fire were simply a particularly awful and painful way to end the monastery. Did anything survive the fire? Gertrude, Some of the buildings are intact, but all are terribly overgrown. I haven't dared forage in the rubble. I doubt you'd find anything of help for your mural inside other than charred wood and parchment. It might still be worth taking a look if I'm careful. Gertrude, I worry after you sometimes, Magdalene. I really do. Thank you for all your help, Sister Gertrude. Gertrude, you're most welcome, Magdalene. God bless you. Hey, I wanted to... Visiting the poor Clares. Yeah, we've done that now. I should gather some mugwort, but... Yeah. We did that. Oh, pet the cat. Son of Mousefinger and its little kitten. Meow. Meow. Kittens, the squirrel. Not running away. Well, that was, I don't know. I did learn more about the founding of Kearsau. And that illustration from the manuscript, the Mithraeum, it was like the one in the mine. Is it part of the history of the Abbey of Tassing? It must be written down somewhere. If only the library hadn't burned with everything in it. Oh, the ruins are right there. Maybe not everything was destroyed. Anything to be found here? Hand of St. Moritz. The poor Clares take care of it now. Yeah. Maybe not everything was destroyed. Oh, we can go into the church now. Interesting. What is in the church? Oh. My god, this is amazing. I wonder what it must have looked like before the fire. Everything collapsed in the fire. I'll have to be careful climbing over this rubble to get past. Yeah, it's not so bad. I mean, this looks kind of a little bit bad, but... Oh shit. Oh god, this is not a good place. Okay. We're good at climbing. And not very heavy. Ow. Oh no, I can't get back up there. If I climb, it might collapse further. Oh, come on. I'll have to find another way out. As usual. Oh, there's the tower. There's nothing here. The way to the crypt is blocked. I have to go up to the tower. There's some vines. There's nothing left of the old staircase. I guess I can't go this way. These vines go all the way to the top, though. They look sturdy enough to hold my weight. Well, there's no other way out. My goodness. Ugh. I can see all of Tassing from here. I wonder if I can piece together the foundations of the abbey and find a way to get to the library. I bet I could down this way. The roof looks pretty stable. What the heck? Oh, ho, 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 ho. I hope the vines hold me. My goodness me. Ah. Personally, I'm rather not that good with heights. But we'll manage. We'll surely manage. Getting to an enchanted place. I was lost for such a long time. And it's getting dark. Ah. We can get back. We're here, we can jump the rest, come on. What beautiful singing too. And that's all grown over. Oh god. I remember when the library burned down. Dad told me I was just a baby, but I remember the flames coming out of the windows. So many people were screaming and running around. I cried myself to sleep that night. I haven't seen this place since then. It doesn't look like there's anything left inside. I suppose it was too much to hope for. Magdalene, how are you going to get out of here? Oh, we'll find a way. What's that? These roses seem to have made the abbey their home. I'm glad something beautiful is still growing in there. Oh, let's go. There's a cemetery. Oh, that gruesome thing. There's something growing here. There's still... Wow. That seems to be tended even. Come on, that's not overgrown at all. That should be overgrown. These roses seem to have made the abbey their home. Yeah. So many of these roses. And we can't go down here anymore. But that looks halfway tended, not massively. But it should be way more overgrown right now. Let's get into the cloister. hello cats. No, we cannot go here. I wonder if there were always this many cats at the Abbey. Perhaps I can ask Voicelove what he remembers during his time here. This place is a mess, how sad. The door's stuck, I can't get through this way, so we have to go through the chapter house. There's something new here. That is new. There's a new stuff here. An old mural. It's worn, but I can still see some of the figures. A dance of death. Yeah, but there's additions to this. This thing is clearly new. What? These figures you look new. The paint can't be more than a few years old. Someone's been adding to this. This feels wrong. Who would add new figures to the dance of death and why? These look like people from the town, from here. People who died. Must be the Baron. And that's Otto. What is that? Someone's here. Hello? Who are you? They went this way. We'll go this way. Maybe I can find something here. Who is that? And that was Andreas Mahler. That may be Hannah, I don't know. Who is that guy? That must be Otto. That is Ferenc and his ghostly stuff. And who was that? Eaten by what? What is that? That looks... ugh. That's some kind of a troll face eating someone. That eating Baron Rothvogel, and that's his feathers, maybe? And that should be Leonard. The door. Whoever was watching me must have opened it. I don't like this. I think I've seen everything left of the Abbey. I want to get out of here. Oh, is it night now? When did it start snowing? Maybe we can talk to Gertrude about this. Gertrude. I mean, she could have been it. Bless you, Magdalene. Maybe we should talk to the prioress. God bless you, Magdalene. Have you given any more thought to becoming a sister? I'm still thinking about it. I see. Your spirit is troubled by the matter. I am always here to lend an ear. Father Thomas as well. Thank you, Mother. God bless you, Magdalene. I hope nothing has happened to Father. And the hand is still in the shrine, yes. The guest house is locked. The abbot's house as well. So whoever's doing this is maybe living in that abbey. Can't go to the Roman ruins, right? The same person is in the mine. The person who attacked my dad. I don't feel safe. Not at all. Something new to the labyrinth? No. Father Thomas. God bless you, Magdalene. God bless you, Father Thomas. Do you have a moment? Thomas, of course. What can I help you with? I wanted to ask you about Tassing's saints. I'd like to represent them in the Rat House. Thomas, I'm thrilled to hear it. The saints will make a wonderful centerpiece for the murals. Let's make a deal. If I listen rapturously as you tell me about the saints, and you don't press me about putting them in the mural. Ah, very well. But you know, there is one saint you're overlooking. Contemplated. Why, the Blessed Virgin, of course, Mary. Many people forget that Mary is the greatest saint. And she visited one of the peasants here in Tassing centuries ago. The Virgin Mary appeared in Tassing? Why? Yes, she appeared to give a message. Centuries ago, a farmer in the fields behind us had 3 visions of Mary. In the first, she told him that she wanted him to tell the Bishop of Freising that she had appeared. The peasant travelled down to Freising, but the bishop would not see or hear him. That's not a short trip. It certainly is not. The peasant had received a holy vision. What else could one do in the face of a divine revelation? When you put it that way, Thomas, the peasant returned to Tassing and had another vision in the field. The Virgin showed him a pattern, a labyrinth. That labyrinth, she told him to draw it on a sheet of birch bark and bring the drawing to the Bishop of Freising. We'll keep listening. The bishop attempted to turn the peasant away, but he could see the drawing of the labyrinth in his hands. It was the same image that the bishop had seen in a dream 3 nights earlier. He met with a peasant who told him of the 2 apparitions he had seen here in Tassing. The bishop was moved by the peasant's story, and he came here, to Tassing. The bishop came here. He did. It's the only time the bishop has come to Tassing. Ever. And when the bishop came, Mary appeared to both of them. She told the farmer that the town needed to build this church. She told the bishop to support the town. I had no idea that's where all of this came from, Thomas. It's not a story I tell much anymore. I suppose the people here think of Moritz and Satya, their connection to this place. Mary is such a core part of their prayers that they forget about our particular Mary. But in any case, Our Lady's demands were clear, so the bishop helped fund the creation of this church. The people of Tassing have been using it ever since. Oh, he was not from Tassing? You're not from Tassing. How did you hear the story? Thomas, true, I am not. The people told me when I came, and the former priest told them when they were children, and so on. The priest and the flock have shared the responsibility of passing on the story over the centuries. Magdalene. Thank you for the story, Father Thomas. You are most welcome, Magdalene. God bless you and your work, Magdalene. God bless you, Father Thomas. That seems to be important somehow. Should get back to the Rat House and get to work. That's why this is called the Lady of the Labyrinth. Now that's kind of impressive, I have to say, so... But maybe there's still something on the mill I haven't talked about. Maybe still. Anna, you're feeling well? Yes. Else, did you remember something? No. We should talk to Ötz, maybe. But Ötz will be attacked. I fear Ötz will be attacked too. Let's look after Father. Oh, Clara. Hello, Magdalene. Hello, Magdalene. Okay. Okay, Dad. I'll let you sleep. I'll let you sleep. It's hard seeing your dad as this. He was always such a decisive man. Getting to the town. Oh, there's Kraft. Hey, Kraft. Hey, Magdalene. Agnes, maybe. Good day, Magdalene. Apollo. Screw off, Magdalene. Alright. Carl. Good day, Mistress Druckeryn. Yeah, we don't want to go in there yet. We have to ask around. I mean, they're all doing their work-ish. Is there Balthus somewhere? Anywhere? Ah, there's Balthus again. Hey, Balthus. Hello, Magdalene. Oh, we cannot ask him. We cannot ask him. Not you. Not too much. Okay. Back to the bakery, maybe. Hello, Gret. That's you, Magdalene. Town Commons, Racy. Good afternoon, Mistress Druckeryn. Endris is... What about Martha? She has something. Hi, Magda. Afternoon, Martha. You're visiting the smithy? Yes, Endris is helping me make something for Dad. Dad loves his morning walks, but his legs start aching after a little while, so we can't go far. Endris, I've been given a challenging project, to say the least. Martha, I'm surprised Balthus hasn't mentioned this to you, Magda. He's very fond of you, always praising your clever ideas. I would appreciate it if he did it to my face. I hardly hear a word from him. That's not critique. And it's because he respects you, knows you're bright, trusts you to take his words and learn from them. You're lucky, Magdalene. Maybe so. I'll give that some thought, Endris. So what's this project you've been working on, Martha? Balthus came up with a kind of a supportive frame for Dad's leg, inspired by the quiescent greave. He hopes it could help Dad put less weight on the injury. With this, maybe it'd be possible to help him move around with so much pain. The design requires all manner of metal parts. Endris, I hope I'm up to the task. Some of the smaller bits may be a problem. Martha, I have faith in you, Endris. Design sounds intricate, exactly like something Balthus would come up with. Isn't it brilliant? Dad needs the encouragement. He becomes so much sadder when autumn arrives. I haven't actually told him about any of this yet. I want it to be a surprise. A gift for Christmas is it all goes well. If it all goes well. I hope it does. Good luck, Martha. Thank you, Magda. We'll talk more soon, alright? Of course, be well. What about you two? Voice love. God bless you. Matilda, God bless you. Alright. I guess we're getting blessed. What about Fabian and Ursula? Nothing. Good, good, good. Artemis hates us now. Go away, Magda. Ötz. Hey, Mags. Black Till. No. No way. What about Eva? Hello, Magda. Christina. Magda. When all the saints get on the mural. When all the saints get on the mural. Martin. Magdalene. Hey, Brigitte. Hello, Magdalene. Okay, we'll go this way. To Hans Bauer's farm. Hedy. Hey, hey. The younger people. Simon. Hans. Hello, Magdalene. Hello, Hans. I hope your dad recovers quickly. He's a good man. Thank you. I'll tell him you said that. Good. This town has seen too many terrible things, but we've recovered before. Maybe the Lord will return your dad to health too. You can't expect the Lord to do all the work. Perhaps there's something in one of my books. Don't spend so much time with your heads in a book. You miss your dad's last days. Be glad you have this time with him. I wish I had as much with Heilwig. Anyway, I should get back to it. Until later, Hans. To the last farm, to Il Peter. Magdalene, to Big Jorg. Hello, Magdalene. To the Gärtner house. Hi, Veronica. Hello, Magdalene. Oh. These leads. There's something in the bedroom here. Not really. Not even a book. I could paint Our Lady along with St. Moritz and St. Satya. That would be a nice way to honor all three. Yeah, that is something. There's also other options, but The Rathaus is the place to go now. Alright. I guess there's nothing more to find anywhere. We haven't gotten no leads to the forest. So let's go to the Rathaus. And do what we came for. Our work. Cars watching us. There's some kind of note here? No. Thankfully not. So thank you for watching and happy gaming to you. We'll see each other in the next episode where we'll start with exciting work on the mural. Have a great time until then. Happy gaming. This is Monarch Khan signing out. See you soon. Have a great time until then.